The second franchise in the newsletter, the franchise of the week is Bio One. You guys are familiar with Bio One. I think we've had a client in the system buy a Bio One that you guys help introduce. So, what the heck is Bio One?
Yeah, we kind of intentionally put this one in there because I feel like you probably hear about, all these different franchises and food and beverage and maybe even like home services, the typical ones, but this one's so unique. So I think it could be eye-opening for people that there is specific franchises, so many specific franchises out there that you may have never heard of that could be a good fit for you. And this one may not be for most people, but it's kind of a meaningful one. It's called Bio One. It's a crime and trauma scene cleanup franchise. So think of like restaurant kind of in the niche of crime and trauma. So very uncomfortable and sad situations oftentimes is what your company is coming and cleaning up for, both businesses as well as people at their homes. So it's a tough job, but if you have kind of the stomach and the purpose, you're interested in the purpose behind the business, it can be a great opportunity because you're helping people in a time of need, and it can be a lucrative business. So yeah, this company's been around for a while. They have 127 franchise units throughout the country. Very low startup, so the total investment is typically under 150,000. You can operate it from your home to start. You just need like a van and some equipment. Need a couple of employees, not a ton of employees. And from what I understand, they have pretty large territories. So comparatively to other franchises, you would have a huge like territory to serve. A lot of your business might come from referrals from like police departments or fire departments or other referral sources like that, insurance companies that are going to notify you when a client of theirs or somebody has had an accident or something has happened where they need your help. So that's kind of a general overview of the franchise. The numbers are pretty good. It's if you look at the item 19 here, this is just a snapshot from their financial performance. Their top quartile is doing. I'm having a little bit of a hard time. Let me see if I can pull that up. I think it's around 680,000, if I'm reading that correctly, annual revenue.
Yeah, if I can here, I'll make this bigger and just hop it in here.
Yeah, but from our experience of our recent client going through validation with this, I think the margins are pretty good. They have the net profit numbers in here, as you can see. So we always like to see net profit numbers in the item 19, which is actually pretty unusual for a franchise to include that.
Oh, where do they include it? Or you guys didn't put it in there?
No, it's in there. It's a column, net profit.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah, that is unusual. Sorry.
yeah. No, I'm looking at your inbox with 1,783 emails in there. It's giving me anxiety.
So if you've emailed me and I haven't responded, you know why.
Yeah, but so this business, I mean, it is definitely something you can scale. From what I understand, like you just, you get a certain number of referral partners and backlog with one van, and then you just add another van and a couple of employees per van. So it's something that's easily scalable. And like I said, you don't need a physical location to run this business, so you can get started pretty quickly. Limited competition too. That's a good point. There's not a ton of people in this niche, and again, it's not for everybody. A lot of people probably look at this business and be like, "There's no way in hell I could ever do that," myself included. But if you do feel like you could muster up doing this type of work, it can be a great business.
Yeah, what's interesting is I think that, when people a lot of times when people are looking at franchises, they're looking to do something new or something different. I think the best way to get your first win under the belt is to do something that you're familiar with. I actually think that's the best way to if you're looking for the quickest path to success, I think that's it. And, so for someone out there that potentially is, ex-military, former military, um, or they're currently a first responder, and they're looking at something different. It's like those sort of people, it's like right up your alley because, like Kevin's saying, you probably have a unique stomach for this sort of business, right? Not everyone can run a business where you're potentially cleaning up crime scenes or bodies or, really tragic and traumatic scenarios. But the reality is like it is a business, it is a need and a service that people need. And the individual that went through the zero to profitable franchise system that bought this franchise, she was former military, and I had actually done her initial consultation call of her joining our program and system. I remember her telling me the story then, or what, I, I think so. I forget how that conversation happened, but she had an experience when she was in the military with kind of something like this, and that made her feel more comfortable, I guess, with this franchise. Was that kind of the story?
Yeah, she had a pretty intimate experience, and not to get into details of it, but it was something where it was hard, but she felt like, man, I was tough enough to like deal with it, and I'm glad I did. So my colleagues didn't have to deal with it, and especially their family didn't have to deal with it. And so we talked through it, and she ended up just like loving the purpose behind this business, and it was kind of a perfect fit for her. So really cool human being. She's an awesome person, and I think just her, you know, the, her intention going into the business. I really do feel like she's going to be a perfect fit for it. So yeah, again, not for everybody, but there is a need for almost every type of service or product out there. I agree with you. I think it is finding something you have experience in, but also, skill set and what type of skills or job responsibilities are needed from the owner is a big thing, and that aligned well with her as well. So, um, yeah, Bio One is kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, cool. I like the fact that their corporate location's been around for 13 years. Like it's, there are not that there's anything wrong with emerging franchises, but there are a lot of ones that, really kind of just are popping off and in the last couple of years. My personality I think would be one where it's like I think a huge reason to get into franchising is really having that track record. So like to me this strikes me as one of those brands where like they put their money where their mouth is, and they have a strong track record, which I think that is, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned.
Um,
Oh, sorry, Tarek. You mentioned earlier like the type of person that's a good fit for a neighborly brand. Well, like those are very stable, established brands, right? In a very stable industry overall in terms of home services. So, you know, someone like yourself looking for stability or proven track record, like a neighborly brand is perfect. Other people then, but there's benefits to that. But there's also benefits to going into an emerging brand, which could be like territory availability, opportunity to grow, so it's kind of up to every single person and your risk tolerance and what's going to be the best fit for you systematically. But I remember you mentioned that, so I wanted to bring that back up before we moved on.
that's a real solid point. Yeah, some people might hate being with a brand like Neighborly because there's, they may feel like there's too much red tape or things move too slow, whereas someone else like really loves it. So yeah, I think that's a really valid point. And then in the newsletter, if you guys want to see just what new franchises are available in your area, you can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Franchiseempire.com/check territory.